Keep it moving, we've got to keep Mr. Bad Moon happy. Lots of shiny goodies for him to have. Won't be long until we've collected enough to become all powerful. We must guard the shinies at all times. What in Mother Nurgling hell are those things doing here? They're taking our shiny. Don't you mean Papa Nurgling, Master? Oh! Shut up! Get the shinies back! They're taking them all away! Age of Sigmar Warcry Battle Report. Gloomspite Gitz versus Nurgle Demon. Hi there skirmishers, welcome back to another report. If you do enjoy the new content and you're liking the new way of doing things, the new format and style, please do leave a comment below and subscribe if you're new. Without further ado, let's go and take a look at the warbands for today's game. In the dagger group today we have a spear and shield grot and 2 shooter grots. In the shield we have a Boingrot Bounder, a Boingrot Bounder leader, a grot with spear and shield, and a grot netter. In the hammer group we have a duplicate of the dagger, so a shield and spear again and 2 shooters. Over with the Nurgle Demons, in the dagger group we have some Nurglings and 2 plague bearers. In the shield we have 2 more plague bearers, and down at the bottom we have 2 plague drones. Thought I'd try out something different this time for Nurgle Demons, give them that bit more movement as well against Gloomspite. There are 2 plague drones. The one on the left hand side is going to be the leader, since I don't have the actual model for the leader one. So he's going to be proxied as him. The difference is that one's holding his entrails out in his hand, so pretty easy to make out the difference. Then in the hammer group it's a duplicate again of the dagger, just 2 plague bearers and some Nurglings. The battlefield setup is as follows for today. Great terrain setup, once again using the Playmats.eu Dark City, Dark Town mats. You can find these on Playmats.eu in the link in the description below. We are also using some Death World Forest spikes as replacements for our chaotic spikes on the ground to cause that extra damage if someone falls. Then we have the Loon Shrine in the middle, a beautiful terrain piece by Games Workshop, great to use in this scenario. And we've got a mix of barrel scatter terrain, and we've got like some mushrooms and things scattered around as well. UrbanMatz rocks as well are those lighter grey rock pieces on the flanks. We'll do an initial priority roll here, and the Nurgle Demons are getting a 1, and Gloomspite Gitz getting a 4 and winning the initial roll off. We'll now resolve deployment as per usual, and we flip for escalation, an interesting deployment type where all other groups except for the shield come in round 2 onwards from the flanks. Gloomspite won the roll off and will choose to be the blue deployment, their shield deploying in the middle 8 inches from the centre, and the red will be Nurgle Demons deploying 8 inches with their shield from the middle to the right hand side. With deployment complete it looks like so from above. We'll now draw a victory condition, and we draw Scorched Earth. The players roll off and the winner chooses who is the attacker and who is the defender. In this case we're going to choose for the defender to be the Gloomspite Gitz, as it just makes narrative sense. The defender places 3 objectives on the battlefield, each more than 6 inches from any objectives and the battlefield edge. At the end of each battle round, the attacker scores 3 victory points for each objective they control. The defender scores 1 victory point for each objective they control. In addition, at the end of each battle round, after victory points have been awarded, the defender can remove 1 objective they control from play. The battle ends after 3 battle rounds. When the battle ends, the player with the most victory points wins the battle. As you can see, the Gloomspite Gitz have already been placing their objective tokens, 3 at least 6 inches apart and from the edge, and we're ready to go onto a twist. And we draw a twist card, Battle Frenzy, a very simple but brutalistic card. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic of attack actions made by fighters this battle that have a range characteristic of 3 or less. Man, those little Gloomspite Gitz are going to be turning into flubbers at this rate. We now go straight into an initiative roll off, and it's going to be the Gloomspite Gitz first rolling their black dice. Triple 4 already, so potential for a quad there, double 6 and a single 3. Interesting stuff. Nurgle Demons next, and they're getting a triple 5, so another triple but higher. They've won up the Gloomspite, double 1 and another single, so now they're going to have to do a roll off on single dice to see who has initiative to place wild dice first. Gloomspite Gitz rolling first, getting a high 6, nice roll, and only a 5 for the Nurgle Demons. They couldn't quite match it, so Gloomspite choosing their wild dice first. Gloomspite Gitz should not be able to avoid any concept of anarchy, and so definitely go with a quad 4. Nurgle Demons respond and go, hell yeah, Papa Nurgle, and add to make a quad 5, leaving Gloomspite Gitz with initiative for battle round 1. The Grot Netter will activate first and just make a simple move, if not double move if needed, just to get himself onto that objective and secure that for now for the Gloomspite. The Nurgle Demons are next, and the Nurgle Demon Plague Bearer down at the back will just make a double move forward, down behind the pesky mosquitoes. I mean, Nurgle are always going to be slow. The Shield and Spear Grot will now make a double move of 8 and get all the way over down underneath the objective there. Its height according so will be 3 inches directly below the objective telepole down. The Plague Drone Leader will now make a 6-inch move flying up top, ignoring all terrain when moving, and then will use their quad 5 to use Rampage and make a bonus move then attack action. He will then have an action remaining to attack again if needed, but will use that extra movement to land down behind that grot with the spear and shield. The Plague Drone Leader then rolls 4 dice, but only strength 3 with a toughness 4 for the grot since he has a shield. Needing 5s here, gets a hit and a crit for the first action, then the second action, actual action because the first one was free for Rampage. Gets no hits though, needing 5s, no hits at all there, causing 6 damage though still overall to the grot, who's left on 2 health remaining. The Plague Drone Leader makes 2 additional attacks here though, missing with both. Getting those for the Battle Frenzy would have had +1 attack for each of those attack actions, so just rolled them afterwards just to make sure there were no more hits, and he didn't. The Gloomspite Gitz Leader will now activate and make an 8-inch jump since he can fly as a Boingrot Bounder straight over there onto the other side. He will then make a second jump using Sneaky Stab and their quadruple 4 to activate a free movement and attack action again, but with the addition that on the first attack action made with the Sneaky Stab, you get the bonus on the dice to hits and crit. The Boingrot Bounder Leader has a 2-inch range weapon, so we'll go with that. 5 attacks due to Battle Frenzy. Assume from now on that it'll always get +1 attack, as long as it's under 3 range. Getting more than enough damage there, and got a hit, so would get +4 damage from Sneaky Stab there as well, so a good 15 odd damage there on 3. So pretty close in the end, 1 more than needed to destroy that Nurgle Demon and wipe him off the face of that boardwalk. The leader has 1 action left, that was all due to Sneaky Stab, and so will jump straight back over onto the boardwalk there and stay within 3 of that all-important objective. The second Nurgle Plague Drone will now activate and needs to use Rush here to get +2 movement over to move actions to get enough movement with 14 to jump straight over, or should I say fly, straight over the top and down into the back there, very nice. Staying within 3 of that objective. The second Boingrot Band will now activate and jump straight down there within 2-inch range to attack that Plague Drone, but also sit comfortably on the objective. He will then also use the double 6 for Onslaught to get +1 attack for his next attack action, and has Battle Frenzy, so will be on 5 attacks in total. Strength 5, Toughness 3, so 3 is needed, 4 hits, meaning 8 damage for the Plague Drone. That is the end of Battle Round 1, and now to work out points. It's 3-2 currently to Nurgle Demons, the Netter there waiting for those reserves to come in from the far side there from the Nurgle Demons, but he's holding that objective for a point also. The Plague Drones in the middle there are both within 3 of that one middle objective, and the Boingrot Bounder could not beat them to it, so they will get 3 points for that as the attackers, and the last objective is just about held down by 2 of the Gloomspite and only 1 Plague Drone, so they will get a point for that as well. So it is 3-2 for Nurgle Demons at the end of that battle round, with plenty of reserves coming in. Being the defenders, the Gloomspite Gitz can also now burn 1 objective they control, and so will burn the one on the far side with the Netter, due to a lot of demons coming in from the flanks over that side, and just kind of makes sense really to hold down the middle objectives where they already are. Initiative roll off for battle round 2, and the Gloomspite Gitz will roll first, getting a double 5, double 3 and 2 singles, so no triple this round for the Flubbers. Nurgle Demons rolling now, and whoa, outdoing the Gloomspite Gitz for doubles, double 6, double 4 and double 1. I think they're doubling down on their initiative roll there. Gloomspite Gitz though definitely have initiative with 2 singles and therefore don't worry about initiative and make a 555 with their wild dice. Nurgle Daemons, knowing that they can't nick initiative, will make a 666 and respond by having a triple as well. And we will go on to Battle Round 2, Gloomspite Gitz with initiative dropping in their reserves first. Nurgle Daemons dropping their dagger and hammer on the flanks there, starting to surround the Gloomspite Gitz, but are going to have to get a lot of movement in to bring this game to bear. Other than that, the Gloomspite Gitz also coming on the flanks, a nice spot for the dagger to come in for the Gloomspite there, down in behind with some shooters and their sticker spear. On the far side, they just have the remainder coming in with their hammer. We now go on to Battle Round 2 for Gloomspite Gitz initiative. The netter will go first for the grots and will make a 4-inch movement just to get within an inch of that Nurgle demon, but staying away from the Nurglings and the other Plague Bearer there. He will make 4 attacks then with an attack action into that Plague Bearer on 4s, getting 1 hit for 1 damage. But will be within 3 inches of those Nurglings to use Barbed Net for one of their doubles, and on a 3+ will get it here and does, and ties down those Nurglings not being able to make move or disengage actions for the rest of the round. Brutal. Nurgle's turn to activate, and the Nurgle drone leader will activate, attacking 5 times here into the shield and spear on that objective down at the bottom to try and finish him off. He's only got 2 health left, and that's more than enough on 5s there. He knew that the grots liked shiny things, so he thought he'd give him a shiner. For his second action, he's free to move wherever he likes and flies straight over the top there for 6 inches and down into combat with the spear, sticker and shield on the other side, staying within 3 inches there of that objective. At the end of the leader's activation, he'll then use Inspiring Presence to activate another friendly fighter within 6 inches, which will be the other plague drone on the other side of the boardwalk there, so we'll get to activate straight away. Making a small 1-inch move to get in combat there and in engagement range with the Boingrot Bounder. He will then activate Venomous Sting with a double, and on a 2-up will successfully trap the Boingrot Bounder so that he can't make move or disengage actions for the rest of the round. He is successful and then runs away with his second action for a move, meaning that the Boingrot Bounder is completely useless for the rest of this round except for waiting.
You will be this armless, legless, faceless little thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
What, I said it was a Venomous Sting.
The Boingrot Bounder leader will now activate and jump down with an 8-inch move to be within 2 inches to attack the Nurgle demon that's already been damaged. He will also then use his ability for a triple for Stab 'em Good, so that everybody including himself within 6 inches until the end of the battle round gets +1 to their attacks characteristic. The leader now makes 6 attacks into the Plague Bearer, on 3s easily taking him down. The Plague Bearer in behind then activates for the Nurgle, making a small 3-inch move action beside the netter, and then for the second action disengages to get outside of 2-inch range of that Boingrot Bounder, but also stays within 3 inches of that objective in the middle. The Gloomspite Gitz on the opposite flank will now start moving in. The spear and shield grot will double move for 8 inches, getting around the other side of that Plague Bearer and trapping him in. Now the Nurgle's activation, and the Nurglings cannot do anything but wait this turn, so wait to help postpone the turn. The Boingrot Bounder, paralysed by venom, will reciprocate, doing exactly the same and waiting. The Nurglings then respond by finishing their activation after waiting. The Boingrot Bounder does exactly the same and finishes his activation, going back onto Nurgles. The Plague Bearer, trapped in by the shield and spear grot, will now disengage for 3, getting outside of an inch range from the grot, landing there at the bottom of the walkways, will then move 3 inches to the top of the platform there, and getting just within 3 inches of that objective, a perfect move by the Plague Bearer. The Grot Shooter will now fire 2 arrows for 2 attack actions at the Plague Bearer that got up top. He has toughness 4 now though, due to the archer firing below ground to above ground. Needing 5s, only gets 1 hit for 1 damage. Nurgle's dagger group now starts moving in from the flank, with the Plague Bearer double moving just down below the steps. The other Grot Shooter now has 12-inch range too and shoots again. The same stats on 5s, a hit and a crit, 4 more damage leading to 5 total damage on the Plague Bearer. The other Plague Bearer in the dagger for Nurgle moves up twice, just in behind his buddy. It's the Gloomspite Gitz activation now, and the grot with the spear and shield that was charged into by the drone makes a simple 4-inch move into the middle of the two drones, attacking the injured drone on the far side on 5s, gets 1 hit for 1 damage. The Nurglings on the flank then use Rush for a double to get an extra 2 inches movement across a double move and sprint their way all the way over towards the middle objective. Over to the Gloomspite dagger, and one of the shooters is going to make a 4-inch move up to the top of the steps there onto the end of the boardwalk, helping contest that objective, and then makes a ranged attack into the plague drone below that's already injured, needing 5s, getting a crit for 3 more damage. With only Gloomspite Gitz left to activate, the last shooter will then make a 4-inch move in between the plague drones and attack the weakened drone, getting a hit and 2 crits on 5 dice due to Battle Frenzy and the leader buff Stab 'em Good, causing a total of 5 damage. Also remembering slightly later than I should have because I'm an idiot, I rolled an extra dice for the shield and spear as he would have got an extra attack because of Stab 'em Good from the leader, and definitely worth remembering an extra 4 damage on a crit there from the spear. So at the end of battle round 2 there, it's now 4-3 to the Gloomspite Gitz, pulling it back that round. The Nurgle are taking their time getting over there, as you'd expect, quite slow, decaying as they move in. But the Gloomspite Gitz holding down that originally middle objective on the left, with 4 models on there within 3 inches compared to the Nurgle's 3. So they will hold that down and take that objective from them. And the other objective on the far side there on the decking, they are contesting but held last round, and in Warcry you always hold on to objectives unless your opponent can take them. So Gloomspite pulling it out of the bag there. Gloomspite Gitz hold both objectives and so choose to destroy the objective on the left hand side this round, leaving the one on the decking for the 3rd and final battle round. Time for battle round 3 initiative roll off, and it's the Gloomspite Gitz first with a 2-2 and 3 singles, and those singles could be important to take initiative here for this final battle round. Nurgle Demons respond emphatically there with a 666, a 2-2 and a single. Gloomspite Gitz have initiative and will choose their wild dice first, making a quad 2, no surprise there, and keeping initiative. Nurgle are happy to respond and make a quad 6, outdoing the Gloomspite Gitz, but losing out on initiative to Gloomspite Gitz round 3. Gloomspite Gitz, not holding back, throw their leader forward on the Boingrot Bounder, straight over with 8-inch movement, using Sneaky Stab for the extra move and attack action with their quad. Rolling 5 dice with Battle Frenzy on 3s here with Strength 5, Toughness 4, and getting 4 hits. That is 8 damage, 1 short, but then the 2 extra damage from Sneaky Stab on the attack because they got a hit roll means that the drone goes out of action. Looking for some revenge, the Plague Drone leader then activates and will make an attack action into the shooter in front of him, needing 2 crits to do the job, and gets it with a hit as well on 4s. That is a dead shooter. He then chooses to turn his eyes to many eyes to the spear and shield, looking for 5s this time, and oh bless my Nurgle, gets 3 crits, taking out that grot as well. Extraordinary rolling. The Plague Drone leader ain't done yet though, and spends a quad 6 from the Nurgle's ability dice and makes a free jump or fly over into the other shooter on top of the boardwalk, perfectly within range to make another free attack action with that bonus ability. Goes for the attack action, needing 4s, gets a hit and a crit for 6 damage. The shooter is left on 2 health remaining, and boy, they are so lucky there that they didn't lose 3 grots from 1 move. That Plague Drone leader, an absolute legend in Papa Nurgle's eyes now. He can ask for whatever he wants for Plaguemas now, that's for sure. The grot shooter, absolutely pooing green, makes a disengage action for 3 inches and drops down for a second move just down below the steps underneath, but staying within 3 inches of that objective. Nurgle now activate again, and the Nurglings coming in from that flank, finally making their way in with a double move, getting in beside the Boingrot Bounder, but had to use both actions to move in there, and they are just about within range, including height, of that objective. the shield and spear, activating for the Gloomspite Gitz. Shuffles an inch forward and then uses the rest of his 3-inch move there, or 4-inch move, the rest is 3 inches so to say, to get up to the decking, and will be within 2 inches to use his spear and prod at the Plague Bearer. 3 attacks with Battle Frenzy and rolls a crit for 4 damage at the Plague Bearer, leaving him on 1 health remaining. That's one lucky little Plague Bearer. The injured Plague Bearer will then activate and cheekily make a 3-inch move down, just about getting within an inch of the shooter, who is only on 2 health remaining, and makes an attack action with the second action to take him out of action. And that little shooter thought he was alright, having fled away, but that Plague Bearer caught up and took him down. However, the Gloomspite Gitz will respond by blocking them off from getting anyone within range of that objective by moving that Boing Rot Bounder underneath the walkway and the last spot on the bottom there, really, to get within 3 inches of that objective. And after that move by the Boing Rot Bounder, it's a great strategic move from the Gloomspite Gitz, because they now are equal numbers on that objective with the Nurgle, and unfortunately 3v3 on it, and Gloomspite already held it, so they will continue to hold it, and Nurgle do not have any form of movement to get themselves within 3 of that objective now, and they need to get higher points and win the game. So it is in the end 5-3 to the Gloomspite Gitz. After grabbing that objective, that battle round would get another point to get the 2-point lead. Unfortunately for the Nurgle, didn't quite have the movement in the end. Really unfortunate as well, due to the fact that that Plague Drone leader really did step it up in that last battle round, bringing the Plague to Gloomspite Gitz and nearly running away with that those shiny goodies that they so much crave. So today the Gloomspite Gitz are victorious and please the Bad Moon once again, and Nurgle will have to come back with some revenge, I think, and to please Papa Nurgle. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope you're enjoying the new format. I think it's really good. It's great fun to do. Please do subscribe if you're new, and throw a like on the video, because these vids do take a lot of editing. So it'd be great to hear your guys' feedback and show that you're loving the videos. Otherwise, I'll see you next time, guys. It's been Luke here, and happy skirmishing. Hey there skirmishers, hope you enjoyed watching that video. If you did, please do throw a like on the video down below and leave us some comments. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. You can hit the SMG icon left hand side of the screen. Otherwise, you can sign up to Patreon and access our extra videos and battle reports, etc. That will also help fund our terrain, new models, and the time that we put into the channel. And hopefully one day we can keep pushing to make more and more videos for you guys to be entertained by. Otherwise, really hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day and happy skirmishing.